I know that's for sure. You know how to tie a tie, right? You wouldn't need to search that.
Yeah, I guess years of having to wear a shirt and tie and coats. And,
Yeah.
You do. You get the habit, but I guess it's like riding a bike. You never forget it.
Absolutely.
So.
You don't forget it. All right, well, we're in the kitchen with Chef Bob. It feels like it has been forever since I've seen you, actually. Hopefully you had a nice Thanksgiving.
Very well.
Kind of fast-forwarding over to the holidays and Christmas, and Chef Bob is today going to talk about making holiday gifts.
Yeah, and that's what I was hopefully trying to bring this up right now so people can make this, keep this in mind if they want to give some gifts. I know everybody likes to do the holiday baking.
Oh, yeah.
And, I have a whole lot of respect for bakers. I have bakers, and I guess one of my first chefs I was being taught by, always call it, baking is a science, cooking is an art. If you got to follow your measurements in baking.
Yeah.
And I'm just not, I don't like to follow rules, so I just like to throw things together. So, but I have a lot of respect, but this is kind of a twist on baking a little bit. This is more candies. You can do the cookies and things, but let's talk about what we're going to try to do today.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is basically the mixed nut Roca. It's like a spin on the almond Roca type candy, which is basically a brittle, a nut brittle, and then it has a chocolate covering. And we're going to do that, and then we'll follow it up with some Asian spiced cashews.
Oh, very good. So a little bit of sweet, a little bit of salty,
right?
For whatever taste you have.
And these are definitely just ideas for everybody. Hope this time of year you're going to start thinking about what you're going to be doing for gifts, and these are kind of inexpensive gifts, but they come from the heart.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and folks will definitely enjoy them and use them.
I sure hope so.
Are we going to start with this one?
Yeah. I got a pound of butter here. Okay, I got 2 cups of sugar there. We're going to add to that. We're going to add some water, some light corn syrup, and vanilla, and then we'll add the nuts to here.
I'm hearing the boiling butter, right?
The butter's just going, and then we're going to go ahead and add the sugar. You want to go ahead and add that in?
All of this?
Yeah,
all of that.
All of it. All of
it is the holidays.
It is a candy.
It is a candy, right?
And then you want to go ahead and add the water.
The water.
Yeah. Actually, that's corn syrup. Yeah. Go ahead and just dump that in. That's going to take a little bit.
Wait a minute, what is this?
This is light corn syrup.
Oh, okay.
And so
I was expecting it with water.
I'll use the spatula here. And then we have a little vanilla that we're going to just add.
It's right here.
And really,
so you say you're not a baker?
I'm not a baker. No. I don't, my wife is a baker. So she takes the baking ends side of it, and I'll do the cooking.
All of the cooking.
The savory stuff, yeah. Okay, and then what we're going to do on this, we're going to bring this up, and I'm going to point out we have a couple of thermometers there.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah. Invest in one of these. These are like $3.
What is that?
This is $6. This is a candy thermometer.
Oh, okay.
They're both thermometers, but it's very crucial in this step because you want to put this in, and you want to get this up to what they call. It's going to come to a boil, and it's going to start cooking, and you want to bring it up to a temperature of at least 300 degrees. Between 300 and 310 is what they call hard crack. And not stuff on the street, but it means that basically it's a term that they take the syrup and they'll drop it into water and it'll become brittle.
All right.
And you want to get to that point, and that's about 300 degrees.
So do you need to stir that while it gets to that point?
Not really, but you do want to keep it kind of moving just a little bit to keep it off from squishing on the bottom of the pan.
Okay.
And then we get that going.
All right. And what is the difference between that and this?
Just 2 different ones. All right. 2 different types here.
All right. So we're running out of time. What's the next step while we wait for that to go up to 300?
Yeah. We're gonna just basically that's the longest step really takes on this because it's going to take it gets to that point, and it's going to take about 15 minutes to come up there. Then we're going to add the nuts to there, and then we're going to add the chocolate toppings, and then sprinkle little nuts on there. And what I do is I throw it in the freezer, and just let it kind of set up, and it becomes a hard, piece of candy there.
Great dish, Chef Bob. We're going to finish this one up, and I know talk about our second one.
We'll do the
coming
second
up in our second segment. Chef, thanks.
You're welcome.
Chef Bob, I think you're going to have a lot of extra ingredients when you make this dish because everyone has reached into this bowl to.
You get an extra candy eat along the side. Right. It's kind of have an extra bottle of wine when you pour it into your other dishes. Okay.
All right. Well, so you got to 300.
Got to 300. Between 300 and 310. Don't want to go past that. It gets the color of almost like a brown paper bag, or we were talking a sugar daddy.
And that just happened because it got to the 300?
Yeah, and when it gets to that point, it develops those colors as it cooks and continues to come together.
It smells like almond Roca right now.
It does. And we're going to go ahead and just pull the thermometer out. You're going to dump the nuts in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, do I have to, are you folding it in, or does it just dump it in?
You're going to fold it in.
I'm going to fold it in.
Yeah, that's right.
There's considerably less in here because we've been snacking a little bit, so sorry about that.
I'll go ahead and just work that in there, and then we're going to pour that right on the pan.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Again, we're making holiday gifts with Chef Bob here from Farm Fresh.
Okay.
Good Thanksgiving?
Very good,
Very good.
Yeah, had a college daughter from college home for the day.
Oh.
Home for the day, came home, got her belly full, got a gas tank full in her car, and did her laundry, and she went back to school.
Right, she got some money from Dad, too, I imagine.
Oh.
Okay. Is that good enough?
That's good. And then, yeah, we're just going to do that around there. Try to grab me that towel there.
Of course, of course.
I'm going to just lift this up. And we're just going to pour this onto, and it could be an ungreased cookie sheet. Okay? Doesn't have to be greased, and really I say don't grease it.
I got to tell you, Chef Bob, I can see how this would be, if you have an afternoon, with the kids, you have people in mind you want to give this to. I mean, this could be a really successful holiday gift.
It could. If you're dealing with the kids, you want to just kind of make sure, use all your safety procedures. Keep them from dipping their fingers in there like Carrie was going to do.
Right. You have to keep the adults from doing it, too.
Yeah. And we're just basically going to move this out to the edges here.
Okay. Here, I'll do that while you do something else, because I know you've got other things to do.
Yeah, once you get that out there.
Okay.
And we're going to start on the cashews here.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll do that. So you got that there?
Am I not?
Okay, that's it.
Okay, this is no wonder it took so long. This is a little harder than I thought.
There we go. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and just add the chocolate on top. Okay, and this is 1 bag of chocolate chips just melted.
All right. Oh, you use that double boiler technique,
yeah,
right?
we did that. Another way too is to do it in the microwave, and the trick to that is you put it in a bowl like this, microwave just 2 pulses about 30 seconds, and then stir in between. Otherwise,
stir in between, right?
Stir in between, or else it'll burn on you and break on you.
I can see this is like your kind of baking, though. I mean, you're not like measuring
absolutely
2 teaspoons, a pinch here. I mean, this is just kind of.
Yeah, but and this is really, hopefully I was trying to illustrate that this is a super easy thing to do, because you just measure things out one time and boom, there you go.
Done.
And then we're just going to take a little bit of white chocolate, and I used a fork here.
Oh, look at that, and you make it like a nice design.
You want to go ahead and do that across there?
I can do that.
There you go.
Okay, meanwhile, what do you have there?
Okay, and we're going to do some spiced cashews here. Okay,
Cashews.
and we're going to just take about 2 pounds of cashews, add some sesame seeds, about a cup and a half sesame seeds, Chinese spice.
Really?
And 2
this
tablespoons
is for dessert, right?
No, this is actually for another gift idea for spiced nuts.
Okay.
And it's a little bit different than the usual pecans.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll just need to add about, and I think on the recipe it says 8 ounces of corn syrup. Do about 6. Just cut back a little bit, and then you can add more if you want to. But
right.
We're just going to just coat these.
Did I go crazy with the white chocolate?
That's great. You did
I'll do
great
some more, because that stuff is good.
And then we're just going to coat the cashews here.
Okay.
Try to keep them in a bowl. Okay.
That's okay. We'll eat them.
Yeah. And we're just going to give a light coating. We don't want to go too much because we're not trying to form a candy. And this is actually not going to have that sweet. We're not really looking for the corn syrup to form a sweet
candy yet.
Candy yet. Yeah.
Okay.
We're just going to. It helps to adhere all the flavors, to the nuts. Spread them on a sheet pan. Like a little parchment paper there. Keep it from doing. And then we're going to throw it in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes.
So the way you've done this is you can make both of these and then toss them in the oven, right?
Well, you don't have to, on the.
This one you don't have. You're done with this one.
We're pretty much done with that. You want
Okay.
to sprinkle little nuts on top there?
Absolutely.
And we're going to drop that into the freezer.
Oh, this one goes in the freezer. Okay.
It just sets up. It's all really basically done.
Okay. That one goes into the oven.
Yeah.
We're going to serve up and talk more about the other dishes you have as holiday gifts coming up in our next segment. Chef Bob, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Well, I may have forgotten my safety goggles when I was using the saw on that Virginia Beach float, but I have my gloves on, working on the candy.
And we're just going to, now, this is the finished product.
Yeah.
Well, almost finished product. What we did was we put it in the cooler or freezer. I just like to kind of throw in the freezer just for about maybe half hour to an hour.
Oh, well, that's not too long.
And it just sets up. And then now you're just going to break it up, and
How do you cut it normally?
I usually just go.
Oh, hi. Okay. So you're not trying to make blocks or anything. You're just trying to get it apart.
I'm just getting it apart, and and I think I like the uniqueness of not being.
Right, of not being too uniform.
Uniform, right?
Hold on. Can I do this side?
You can do that side.
Okay.
Get that one out. Okay.
This is hard work.
And this will come out. It really isn't. If you want to use a little mallet or something, you can.
Okay.
But this is what we're looking for. I don't know if Antonio can see that. It's going to be a layer of the chocolate.
We'll
and
share,
then-
Antonio.
Okay, and then the brittle. Okay,
That looks great.
and that's what we're looking for.
So you want like little pieces like that
Or, you
all
know,
throughout.
It
Okay.
depends on how big pieces you want to give your guests, or to your friends.
Right.
And then the cashews, all we did was we did it in 350.
For how long?
For about 15 minutes. And all you're really looking for is just to get the sesame become toasted. Everything else is set up. Once it cools, it'll just kind of form a low
Right.
glaze, keep everything together, and here we go.
I mean, like right now it's not solidified.
Not quite. It's starting to get there, and it's real quick. 'Cause I just pulled it out of the oven. But once it cools down, it'll form like these clusters, and it'll have that little Chinese spice on it, get a little spiciness to it.
I mean, you can definitely smell the spice, the five spice.
Right.
It's good stuff.
And then what I've done is gotten little cellophane gift bags and put them in those and give them to friends.
Okay.
You can mix it in with with the cookies and give those on a plate.
Now,
But
this is kind of broken up. Did I mess up?
no, we'll work with it. I mean, it all goes the same place, and it all works.
Wow, you are
did
such a
great.
nice guy, Chef Bob.
Let's see that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
So
you
they're
go.
not really supposed to delayer, but I've done that somehow.
Right, and and you're going to get some of that. You will get some of that just because the chocolate separates from it. But
Okay.
you got this.
How do you box this up nice for somebody?
I've done different ways. Like it depends on how much money I got that year in the budget. But I've
You
done.
have to consider
Yeah,
that.
you put in little gift bags is really always nice. And one year I did with they got little canisters, the plastic canisters that you might store like sugars and things, and that's worked out good too.
You know,
That's
I
all I
honestly
do.
think that sometimes these gifts really, they're from the heart. They mean a lot, and people know that you've thought about it and taken some time for them.
Absolutely, and I think that's what's really about it. You've taken your time and you've put your heart and love into that. Okay.
All right. I think we're good here. I've got some work to do,
Stephanie's
obviously. I might need a
waiting right here to
massage
grab some.
because we were talking about it. Chef Bob, you might need a massage coming up, and I know that's what we're talking about with Carrie right now.